Hello, world changers. I am so excited that you are joining us on June 29th for our Emerging Latino Leaders Think Tank. I'm Dr. Liz Rios, and I've worked in holistic ministry for many decades under the tutelage of Reverend Dr. Raymond Rivera of New York City's Latino Pastoral Action Center. Now, I currently am the president of Passion to Plant, a bridge building support network that seeks to develop healthy Latino and Black planters to lead multiracial, multi-ethnic churches in today's society. I'm also the founder of the Passion Center, which is a non-traditional faith community in South Florida. And I think you will agree that it is a major understatement to say that this is an interesting time to be in ministry, especially as church planters. However, we are convinced that God has created you and me for such a time as this. I believe that everyone is in agreement that the time that we are in is unprecedented and demands leaders to be flexible and agile. We need what my former professor, Dr. Leonard Sweet, calls contextual intelligence, the ability to accurately diagnose the context and make correct decisions regarding what to do. He calls that the Issachar secret, a distinct kind of intelligence that's embodied by the tribe of Issachar. In a time of great transition and change, they were able to accurately diagnose the context, read the signs, and effectively apply their knowledge, what they learned, to know what to do. You can read more about that in 1 Chronicles 12:32. Today, as the church is challenged with a new problem, COVID-19, and an old one, racism, one thing that is needed more than ever is an integral church that is incarnational and that requires holistic training. The world more than ever needs a church that is able to integrate discipleship, evangelism, and social action, driven by the power of the Holy Spirit to provide both spiritual and social transformation. Our time together will focus on 4 priority areas that we believe is crucial for the future of the church, and holistic training for ministry in this age is one of them. The church has always lived with this tension of being called out and sent out. How we live that out provides a credible witness to the world and enables us to be the church that was made for God's mission. Everything a Christian does and a Christian church says and does should be missional in its conscious participation in the mission of God in God's world. And an understanding of comprehensive holistic ministry is needed to accomplish this task. As my spiritual father states, we are called to minister in a captive world, to bring liberty to the captives. We do that well by not solely focusing on proclamation of the gospel, although that's important, but by practicing what Dr. Rivera calls the 4 principles of holistic ministry: liberation, healing, community, and transformation. So let me dig into that a little bit. Liberation, it entails personal liberation experience in knowing Jesus Christ. But it also includes structural liberation, and we're called to that because all structures are fallen and they oppress and dehumanize people. And we battle principalities and powers. So how do we convince our people? How do we teach them that there's a political dimension to following Jesus too? We can see that when he comes into ministry and he says that Jesus is Lord, not Caesar. That was a political statement at that time. There are also biblical examples of various times of confronting power. Then it's healing. That reference point is from Isaiah 53, that we're all called to be wounded healers. As we experience divine grace, it produces humility, or should, in dealing with others, and it keeps us from being arrogant and paternalistic. Community. The key here is the idea of koinonia. We are called to be the community of God, authentic, knitted in love. But the purpose of that particular call is to serve. An example is Abraham. So koinonia is always for diakonia, and then transformation. We are called to be transformed into the image of Christ daily. It is a call to perpetual growth. We have to remember that we have never quite arrived at our destination. And in order to think this way, you have to unlearn things to make room for the new. So holistic ministry is both personal and social transformation. As misión integral, integral mission, as Rene Padilla says. It is the 2-winged church that Robert Carl Romero says in his book, The Brown Church. You are called to minister in a situation of captivity, and we know that there are many things keeping this world captive. We confront these with a comprehensive holistic training. We will attempt to start these discussions on the 29th. So see you there. Los vemos ahí.